Well, before we go do a little morning fishing, which by the way I've already done, so I kind of got a sense of what's going to happen here. I had several guys ask me about the spacing on my front deck with my graph. So this is what it looks like right now. So I went with two 8612 Garmins at the dash, and then mirroring those two 8612s, we put two 16-inch NBTs, next big thing units, on the front deck. And you know, I looked at the 22s, but they're just so big, and it was just more than what I wanted on the front deck. I still wanted space to step over into the boat. I didn't want them overhanging the side of the boat, and I didn't want to bring them back. So every boat's different. The Puma, the 16s were really good size for it. They've asked me to come back down to Jones next week. I don't know what they've got, but they got something they want to put on the boat. I don't know if we're getting, I don't know what we're getting. I know they're developing several things, so I'll be real curious to see what that is. But I really like the setup of my boat. It's funny to look at the 16s and then walk back and look at the 12s, or even put them side by side, and just how much difference there is between a 12-inch unit and a 16-inch unit, and then, you know, way more even up to a 22-inch unit. Actually, I guess it's exactly the same, 4 more inches, but no, 6 more inches. Good math there. That's the University of Arkansas math for you. So anyway, that's my setup. I've been really pleased with it. Again, so this morning I looked, I've only got 6 hours on the boat so far, so this was my sixth trip out. Let's see, I fished, let me think about that. So we went to Monticello right after we got the boat. We went and spent 3 days at Rayburn for the Sealy. That's 4. We went over to Hawkins, that's 5, and we went out to Hubbard today, which is 6. So I also want to share with you something. So if you remember last year, Lew's came out with this Cranking Series rod, which is a full grip, wind grip rod, and I had bought one and used it a bunch. They make them in, I think there's a 4, but I know for sure there's a 6XD, 8XD, and a 10XD. And I really wanted, so one of the things that I have found as I've gotten older is, and by the way, so I played basketball, baseball, football, all the way through high school, but I played tennis all the way through college. So I have significant, what they'll call either tennis elbow or golf elbow, which means my elbows and my forearms hurt a lot. And so cranking's really hard on me. So I have really tried to find stuff that makes cranking easier on me. And 2 things I have found that have really made that. First off, this rod, it's a soft rod. It's easy to really crank a fire crankbait out. Matter of fact, I think I probably got a few casts I made with it today, right there. But it's just a really, really nice rod. This is the 8XD rod, which is a 7/8 medium heavy extra fast, and you can just rifle it. I'm throwing 15-pound cigar. That's a Cloud 15. Perfect reel, perfect rod setup. And then I've paired that with this red reel. I'll put the model number down below. But what I like about this reel is it's a 5/6-1, and the reason I like that is it's so much easier on the forearms and the wrist to crank all day long versus cranking a big one. It's just easier on you. So if you're struggling, whether it's from injury or age or all the above, I'm going to suggest to you, if you want to do some deep cranking or any kind of cranking, those lower ratio reels are really ideal and are so much easier on the hands and arms, and that's not an expensive reel. I think it's a $140, $150 reel. I love that reel. I've got a whole bunch of those reels in here. And then one other thing I'll also mention to you, a non-luge rod. A guy, Grant, out of Waco, Texas, reached out to me after one of the videos I did where I said I was looking for a jerkbait rod. And he called me and he says, "What are you looking for?" And I said, "Well, what I'm really trying to find is a long rod that's a little bit tip heavy, but that has a really short handle, so when I'm working that jerkbait, it's not banging into my wrist." And so he made this one. He calls it 4K rods. If anybody's interested in talking to him about making a custom rod, just shoot me an email, kensmithfishingoutlook.com. But he built this little rod for me. He also built me a cranking rod I've not tried yet. But I really, really like this little rod. You guys have not seen me catch a lot of fish on it because I fished 5 days since November. But I think you'll see me holding on to that rod a lot more. I've really not found a rod in the luge lineup that that is what that rod is, which is that short handle. It's a relatively long rod. I think it's a 3. I think it's a 7.3. It's got a different marking on it, but I really, really like that little rod. It's exactly what I was looking for. It's got that really short handle. When I say short handle, I mean from the reel seat to the tip, it's a real short handle. So I really like that rod. So anyway, that's what I got for you. We'll go do a little fishing, and hope you guys enjoy this, and we'll try to get out some more here in the next week or two and get some more fishing footage up for you. Thanks, guys. Got to sneak out this morning before work. Come over here to Hubbard, do a little hanging around, and I got about 3 hours to fish. I've already wasted about 30 minutes of it on the rocks. for no bites and the loss of one swank. So I'll come over here to one of the marinas. Didn't take long. Fish around here. Getting a little chunkier. Nice fish. Post spawner hanging out under a dock. Honk, honk, honk. That's a solid fish. 2 1/4. Big old head on it.